This is After Effects Apprentice, Lesson 6 Comp 4. We'll start here. It's another nesting exercise, and it's designed to show you that if you're smart about how you nest your comps, it'll make changes going down the line a whole lot easier. We will start with this first comp called My Plate. And what we will do is I'm going to click and drag this into a new composition. Okay? And so basically we've got My Plate, which is these two layers, and My Plate 2 is that comp. I'm going to hit Command K and rename this Chicago. And I'm going to go back to My Plate, and I'm going to grab this text layer, and I'm going to hit Command X, and I'm going to steal it, and I'm going to paste it into the Chicago layer, and I am going to rename that layer Chicago. Okay, so basically we've got this comp that says Chicago on it, and we've got just that background plate. Now that Chicago layer, I'm going to highlight it here in the project panel, and I'm going to hit Command D to duplicate it twice, and I'm going to open up Chicago, and I'm going to name it Denver, and I'll hit Command K to rename it Denver so it matches, and I'm going to open up Chicago 3, and I'm going to name it Dallas, and here I'll just hit return and rename it Dallas in that area. Okay, so now we've got Dallas, Denver, Chicago, and My Plate, and they're all nested together, and I can prove that by blinking off the background, and when we come back all we see is the text. So they are nested properly. Next thing that we want to do is we want to take this USA map and we want to make a new comp out of it, and I'm going to hit Command K, and we can see that it's a very large map, 14 by 80 by 960. And we're going to take our 3 cities, and I'm going to drag those in as layers, and we are going to position them where they belong in the world. Dallas goes here, and Denver goes here. Okay, save that. And now we will create a brand new comp. We will call it Main, and we want it to be NTSC DV50, and we want to bring our USA map into it, and we will scale it down. Okay, now let's check where everything is in our world. Actually, these pixels look wrong, so I'm going to go up to the dock here. I'm going to go to Composition Settings. No, not Composition Settings. I want View Options. And let's see if Automatic Pixel Correction fixes it. Yes, it looks good. So here, View Options, Pixel Correction. If you're dealing in HD footage that you want to look 16 by 9 but doesn't, that's a good way to fix that problem. So now let's take a look at the whole chain of events. I'm going to click on Main, and we see here that Main is nested with USA, is nested with Chicago, is nested with My Plate. Okay, so that's a way to kind of figure out how everything is related. And now what we want to do is we want our map we want to keyframe our map so that it slides right and scales in. And so let's just say at second 2 This is where we want it to land for scale, and I'll hold down the Option key and hit P. So for scale and position, that's where we want it to end. And we will start with scale at normal at 100. And we'll slide it left. And then we will fade up our cities. And what we can do is that actually this timeline and this timeline are exactly the same. So let's just select our layers, and we will set our opacity. Let's have a 1 second fade up. And we will hit 0. And now I think I want to have Chicago first because that first appears, and then Dallas. And then Denver. Let's take a look. Let's see how that looks. Alright, that looks good. And now let's say the client has decided that they want the background to be brown and not blue. So what we will do is we will go into color correction, and let's see if CC Toner will do that. Yep. And it brings up a nice brown. I don't think we want to blend it. If we want to make this darker, well, we can't make that darker, but we can make this brown a little darker if we want. And so by changing just that comp, it's automatically been changed in all of these. So go ahead and render something that looks like that. Although, I don't want to ease those. They stop so suddenly. So render something that looks like that, please.